Greetings, everyone. Welcome to our monthly meet and greet. We're so excited to have everyone. It's great to see so many smiling faces. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, we have a special guest, Rachael Wyman of Kids at Play, speaking on the importance of grandparents. And if you missed her last week or any of our other meet and greets, they are now available on our YouTube channel. So please share them with your clubs and divisions. We also sent them out in today's reminder email too for your convenience. Last week, we learned a lot about Rachael, and we are so excited to have her back. We love grandparents. Many of you are blessed to be grandparents, and we're going to learn a little bit more about them tonight. So without any further delay, I'm going to hand our invisible mic over to Rachael. So thank you, Rachael, for being with us.
Thank you so much. That invisible mic is still intimidating. So thank you guys for having me again. I'm actually really honored to be able to reflect and share on this topic tonight. Can you put up we'll go ahead and start our slide. And I'll just go ahead and say next for as we just move through it. Yes, perfect. So we'll just go to the next one. Perfect. Well, there they are. Those are my grandparents. This is why this topic is really exciting for me, because I kind of get to take the opportunity to walk down memory lane, and I get to take a look back to a time when life was a little more simpler, a life that I still to this day very much respect and advocate for, which is childhood. So this is my childhood. These are my grandparents, and this is where it has all started. So this is Bill and Rose. They are survivors of the Holocaust. They were born in Israel. They are fierce. They are confident. They are soft. They are humble. And life they keep life's best kept secret, just as most grandparents do. We'll go to the next screen. So this is my grandmother with Gemma. This is my daughter. My grandmother absolutely loved family. Everything she did, she shared every bit of herself with us, and she took in and relished every moment of us. If you just hit next again, you actually get to hear her.
What would you give my fish? You made so much fish.
Of course, they get to have all the fun stuff, and we get to go change the Pampers. So this, we'll go to the next one. So grandparents play many, many roles to all of us. The roles that they have are, every moment with them is absolutely priceless. From walking into my grandparents' house, to the wet kisses that you get on the cheeks, to the smells of the kitchen, to going into sewing rooms and playing with buttons and counting. Everything was such a rich experience when I went to go visit my grandparents. The holidays, all of that, that was the biggest thing, was family comes first. The next one. So, the best thing about my grandmother and being able to reflect on this is she met me where I was. It doesn't matter good days or bad. She met me at that door with the same wet kisses, and she got to shape our visits. And the memories were just full of youthful wisdom. I think we're going to go into the next one. That's why. Sorry about that. So grandparents hold something, a little piece of magic that we don't always get to see. They get to take the normal rush of a parent's day, and they get to actually see it in a different aspect. Like I said, they hold that little secret that we all find that we all want to know the secret to life. And it's funny how our elders seem to already have it in the importance of slowing down. Go to the next one. So that secret, this is where I get to reflect the most, is when, I get to speak on my grandparents and the importance. I had to look at all of this. I wanted to make sure I had something fruitful for you guys, and just sharing experiences with my grandparents isn't going to be enough. So I really had to think, if I had to share with you what was really, what's going to connect what I do as a person, as in working with early childhood education, working in the preschool setting, how do grandparents play a role for that? So allowing someone in my life to give me all of those experiences, just taking the time to slow life down, allowed me to be myself enough where I felt confident in getting into the messes. I felt confident in being who I was because I had somebody that said, it's okay, get messy. It's okay, dive a little deeper. So that was the secret that I've learned that, grandparents had. You can go to the next one. So to bridge that, let me grab my notes over here. So grandparents are a bridge that connect us, connect kids that play a little bit differently. We have grandparents that work in our industry, which I did interview them. We'll listen to a couple of their interviews at the end of this. But we got to take a look at all aspects and the benefits of grandparents. We got to take a look at the outside of what children do for grandparents, of giving them a joy of watching, of slowing down, of watching, their grandchildren grow differently than a parent would. I am like all over with my notes, so I do apologize. But I am going to share a couple of the interviews because it is a little bit different aspect when you ask somebody who is a grandparent that has taken the opportunity to come into our industry and to share their story of how they see things differently and what their role is in it. It's a little bit different than just talking about how important, because we definitely know the important role that our grandparents or our elders play. I think our next one would be that video. So this is Miss Tina. She is absolutely fabulous.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, no, you're good.
How has your experience being a grandparent impacted your teaching style?
It has impacted me by being more flexible in my schedule, being able to volunteer at my grandson's daycare. By doing so, it made me realize this is what I wanted to do in life. This was my calling. I got to observe different kinds of teachers and styles, and I was able to determine what type of teacher I wanted to be and didn't want to be. And I just loved volunteering, and he actually inspired me to want to teach. And I can say that I taught him so much, but he actually taught me so much. He taught me the type of teacher I want to be.
So if you could give one piece of advice to new grandparents, what would that be?
My advice would be to spend as much time as you can with them. I never realized when I was a parent, being a parent, I never realized how quickly time goes by and all the things I missed out on with my children. So with your grandchildren, it's like getting that second chance to not miss out on those little things. And I cherish them. I know what I did miss out on, and I make sure that I don't miss out on it with them.
Perfect.
How has your experience being a grandparent
in the next one?
impacted your teaching style?
Yeah, there's another one after this one.
Being more flexible.
Yeah, we just did this one. There's another interview. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Thank you.
How does being in the childcare industry benefit you as a grandparent?
Being in the industry benefits me as a grandparent because I'm more knowledgeable about children's development and their needs. So I feel like I am a better grandparent because I see things differently than maybe someone that is not a preschool teacher looking for certain things in children. Parents are busy.
Yeah.
And I think grandparents see things a little bit differently because our lives are not as fast sometimes as the parents, going to soccer practice and baseball practice and music lessons and trying to run to the after school program and all that busyness. Us as grandparents, we might not be as busy. So having that time to take out for your grandchildren is really important. It's special. Every minute matters because we know as grandparents how fast our children grew and how fast our grandchildren are going to grow, that every single moment with them is completely precious. And anytime that you can spend time with your grandchildren to help maybe alleviate some of that stress, trying to do so much for their children that it may not be doing as much with them. So any minute, any time you can give to your grandchild is just so important.
We'll just stop it right there. The last slide is just questions, but I would like to just touch on both of these teachers of mine were given me the opportunity to look at this a little bit differently. You know, they get to have Miss Elaine here. She gets to have her grandson come to work every day. And it's something that most parents would love to the opportunity to be able to work in the same field as their kid and things like that. But she actually gets to take that opportunity, and she has multiple opportunities throughout the day to connect and share his experiences in school. The one prior, that was Miss Tina. Miss Tina she has a 13-year-old granddaughter that during the summer or when there is no school, she gets to bring her into our facility to do volunteer work, whether it's, you know, just hanging out with her grandmother in the classroom or helping out in different areas. The way she gets to see, she gets to spend that quality time with her as well. And both of these teachers, they bring something to the table at Kids at Play that not everybody gets that opportunity. And that is being a grandparent. That is understanding the importance of taking a step back, all that little secret talk that magic in the pocket, they have it. They have that knowledge. They have that understanding of, you know what, I want to look at these kids where they are. They're going to go they're going to grow fast. These parents are going to go fast. These parents are busy. They're not always able to, you know, take their kids outside as much as they would like, you know, and just by sharing the experiences of my grandparents, and I actually get to see that's what it is. Our elders get that opportunity, or so with this rich, youthful wisdom of slowing down, of stop, take a breath and relax, that we desperately want to adapt those principles in our life and our facility. We want to take the opportunity to slow things down, to make those really rich experiences when kids are in their element and they're just being kids and we can see them for exactly who they are. And whether we want to say, you know, it's grandmother eyes sometimes, it's that little spoil, that extra cuddle, that little love and extra patience that, you know, they won't always get from home, but you always know that level of spoiling or that level of, I don't want to say extra care, it's just a little bit of you time is given. So these two teachers are actually a great example of being able to give that, to show what the importance of grandparents are. They're both in the school and they both have tremendous, Elaine works with our VPK kids. So she has 24-year-olds a day that she oversees. And the amount of love and care that she goes into it is because of the time and patience of either playing with her own grandkid or raising her own kid. And then, you know, Miss Tina as well, she has her infants. She gets 4 infants to herself, which is that is a lot. That's a lot of responsibility. But with that responsibility, you have to be calm. You have to be genuine about your love and your affection and your compassion with it. And I think them having the skills, the wisdom, the life behind of who they are, and that grandparent title, elder title, they get that. So it is a blessing to have the opportunity to actually share their interviews with you as well, because the impact of them in our school makes the importance of grandparents all more special to us.
So, Rachel, one of our members had a really good question about the holidays. She's traveling to be with her family in the Northeast that she's not usually with, and she has a limited amount of time with two. And she wondered, their time is limited and it's precious. And what are some things that they should or shouldn't be focusing on as grandparents compared to parents? Because from what she had said, it's sometimes hard to know which line to be in, the parents or the grandparents. And I don't know, because I'm still in that helicopter mommy stage. So
I think this is a great opportunity when time is limited and you have to go visit family, and your time with those grandchildren that's what you're saying, is the time is limited with the grandchildren. I would honestly say, let's kick the parents out and let you be grandparents and have a good night with them and just connect. I mean, those are as you can go bake in the kitchen if that's a love, or just take that opportunity and give the parents the break, because they all need them. Helicopter moms and all, we all need their breaks. So sometimes we just gotta say, okay, surrender, and you take that opportunity. It doesn't have, none of the stuff that I truly remember my grandparents buy had anything to do with money or going places. Everything had to come from walking into the doorstep, to the smells in the kitchen, to going outside, to digging in dirt, to this day, I will let my kids every now and then eat with their hands and no silver, because my grandma let me, and why not, was her words. Why can I not do it? So it's taking the stress of parents watching you do the things maybe you shouldn't, like eat with your hands, letting them have the night, and just let them be kids and connect with them on their level, meet them where they are. And those will form the greatest connections.
that's great advice. Thank you for that, Rachel. Well, the other one I know you already kind of talked about, and maybe you can offer some other good suggestions. What are ways grandparents can volunteer in schools near them?
So this is great. I did have a couple examples of this after Miss Tina. She volunteered, and it's great. We have this thing called Secret Reader at our school, where we have parents or grandparents can come in and volunteer their time to surprise their grandchildren, give them a couple clues, and they come in and they actually they get to read to their whole class. So that's a great way to get involved. Even when we do not just Mother's Day, we do a um, Mother's Day Grandparent Day, where we do a tea party. So it's just saying, do you need anything, or is there anything that we could offer? Just coming into the teachers, and some, not every school is able to, especially the times that we are in. So, and we've done it where we've actually done even Zoom calls in the classrooms. There's many opportunities to volunteer, and sometimes it's just as little as donating resources that are recycling stuff or things like that to kind of get them connected. But just to let you know as well, we also have grandparents that come in and visit our babies and our infants. So they don't get, parents have to go back. They are not able to maybe watch, the infants the whole time, but they'll come in and we go for walks, and the grandparents are like, can we volunteer on walks, just so we have that extra staff? And that's kind of how we opened our doors to kind of allow that opportunity. So I guess you just have to connect with the schools and kind of see what they're allowing at this time, but be an advocate. Say, where can you put me? Sometimes you just got to be the voice that says, I'm here and I'm willing to help. I want to be part of my grandkid. And then, as you can see, like Miss Tina fell in love with going in and snuggling with, that's all she did. She went to the infant room several times a week with her grandson, snuggle them, and says, you know what, I'm sold. I just want to do this all day with, all the babies. I just want to love on them all. So that's how she did the same thing.
Oh, that's great. That's some really good ideas for individuals that want to volunteer and to touch base, so they can read, spend time with infants.
The garden with us, we can, or help us create a garden. We do butterflies and a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, hopefully one day maybe we could do a trustee trip to your facility, Rachel, and have a little bit of fun in the garden and see the butterflies and paint a little bit.
Absolutely.
So, thank you so much for joining us again, Rachel. We are just honored to have you, and for everything that you shared. For all of you that maybe weren't able to join us last week, again, Rachel was with us. We have already sent and uploaded that video onto YouTube, and it was attached with today's email if you haven't had a second to watch it. If there are any other questions, we could take some time right now and answer them. We have some exciting things coming up this month. We're in the home stretch of the year. I can't believe it. I feel like we were just having the conversation that it's a new year and it's going to be a crazy new year, and it was. So we have Thanksgiving coming. We won't see you before then. So happy Thanksgiving to you all. I hope you have a great time either at home or with your families. If you travel, please travel safe. We have Giving Tuesday. It's coming up this November 30th. So mark your calendars. If you're on social, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, please go ahead and share our message. There's a lot of ways to give, even if it's not financially. Spreading the word, sharing our resources, doing a Facebook fundraiser are great ways to still help us, as well as to make a gift as well. So that's November 30th or before. And then December 15th, we have our big grant deadline. So that's for the Bleckman, the David and Donna SLP and club grants. We have our matching grant deadline. And then it has been a great start to our year as far as mini grants. So Diana just got one today in her division. President Dan just sent 3 more over earlier. So we are really seeing those needs met very quickly, and there are going to be some great projects right off the ball here. Diana, did you want to jump in and say anything about your mini grant?
Yes, thank you so much. The Miami Club is doing a fantastic partnership with the Salvation Army and feeding over 75 families actually, with, food basket, with turkey and all that good stuff for Thanksgiving. So they're very excited and really looking forward to that. So that's a good thing. Salvation Army does a great lot of work. They feed people every day, give out food and stuff. So it's a great help to them.
That's great. Well, from the application, it looked like a great project, and I know EC was very excited about it and excited to support it. So as you get some good stories or pictures, we can't wait to share them.
Sure thing.
And then thank you all for already sending in your annual club gifts and your sustaining membership gifts. We really are so grateful. They are the bloodline of our grant programs and also our administration. So we are appreciative for your ongoing generosity, especially this month as our leadership and all of our trustees are taking time to really reflect on your generosity and your goodness. So thank you so much for that. President Dan, would you like to jump in here?
I would just like to say it, and I know many of you have heard me say this before, but I can't say it enough. Your Florida Kiwanis Foundation couldn't do the things that we are doing in terms of mini grants and other grants without the generosity of our donors, past, present, and future. I just want to say thank you. I can't say thank you enough. Your Florida Foundation, Kiwanis Foundation, can't do the things we're doing without your kindness and generosity. So thank you again.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and thank you all again for joining us tonight. Thank you, Rachel. We really are so appreciative of your time and expertise. And for all of you that will be joining us next December, next meet and greet, it will be December 8th, 8th at 6 p.m. And that's Daniel Burley. And she's with PK Purposeful Play. So she's going to be speaking about why early childhood is so important. And we've been sharing YouTube links for her. So she is one of those like playful kindergarten teachers that's very animated, and she is sharing a lot of knowledge through YouTube. She was a teacher in the classroom until this year and has now become a full-time trainer. So I think we're going to have a bunch of fun with her. She's going to do an actual activity with us all. So it will mix up what we've been doing. It's been nice to have the diversity of different speakers. So Rachel, before we leave, is there anything else that you wanted to add tonight?
Thank you so much for having me again. No, it's been great.
Well, thank you again for being with us, Rachel. It was really such an honor, and I hope everyone has a good night and happy Thanksgiving. Thank you all so much.